guys, Jessica here, and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers. In the last episode, you can see we started to build our station a little bit. It's not looking like much now. However, we are going to hop in our mining ship and we're going to go and get some resources. Oh my gosh, I make that sound so fun. But unfortunately, mining can be a little bit boring to some people. However, I know that there are some of you who really want to see me mine more stuff, especially with this super awesome mining rig, which Intrepid Mining Company surprised us with. We had no idea we were going to be receiving this ship. Now, I am going over here to this asteroid to check for silicon, because there did not seem to be any silicon on our home asteroid. So, I don't know why that. Now, normally we would be able to see on our screen the different types of resources. Maybe we're not close enough. Ah, there we go. Okay. So we're looking for silicon. However, we can always grab some cobalt too, because we don't have any of that. And we will need it eventually. We're going to need everything, so we might as well just go ahead and grab a little bit of it. And then I do see silicon on the screen now. It seems to be somewhere up there at the top. We'll go and grab that as well. But yeah, we can just grab a little bit of everything. I don't want to grab too much, otherwise it's just going to take forever to refine. We only have the one refinery. I do want to get more of them. I do want to get the collection bay set up. But we need all of these types of resources to be able to do that. So there's some things we have to do before we're in a position where we can, kind of sit back on some things. The early stages of this game really do require you to pretty much go through all of the steps, go through all of the processes of getting established. And I think that's one of the really cool things about the game. But it also gives us, all of the freedom to create whatever story or whatever, scenario we want. And I absolutely love games that give you that option. I'm also a really big fan of Kerbal Space Program. So this game kind of takes after Kerbal Space Program. I can tell that there's a lot of little areas in which the developers are definitely getting inspiration from Kerbal Space Program. But also I think, both games really try to be accurate as far as science and stuff is concerned. And so I think that's one of the reasons why the games end up feeling very similar, is that they're both really trying hard to make sure that they get physics and things like that done right. Now, Space Engineers currently does not have all of the proper physics built into it yet. For example, gravity. When you build artificial gravity generators, they don't actually affect everything. Like I'm trying to line up here to go hunt for the silicon. I think it's buried. It's either buried or it's on top. I'm not sure. We might have to kind of like drill in to go get it. Or there's a hole there. Maybe that hole leads into it. I'll bet you that's where it goes. So anyways, yeah, the gravity does not affect everything. Like currently asteroids and stuff have no natural gravity. I can give an asteroid gravity if I put a gravity generator like in the center of it. I can definitely do that. However, like I said, it doesn't come with its own gravity. Also, gravity does not affect ships unless you like put special blocks on them, which I think they're called artificial mass blocks, and that basically then gives your ship the ability to be affected by gravity, but it's still not perfect, because those artificial mass blocks, they don't necessarily know how much your ship weighs. So it's really kind of silly. I kind of wish they would finish that already. Just make gravity affect everything. Although it really would change a lot of things that you could do in the game. It would change things in a big way. But I think it could also like be really cool. I'd at least like to see it, you know? Maybe even if it's just like a mod or something like that, I would still love to see what that would be like in this game. Because it might not work, but it also sounds like it could have potential. Now, I am not all the way to the silicon yet. I don't think I'm getting any silicon. I'm gonna check our inventories real quick. Just see what we've been gathering. We've got cobalt, stone, uranium, and iron. And yeah, no silicon. Not yet. We haven't reached it. Our ship is a little bit too big to like actually get in there. So we're kind of having to go through a lot of iron and stone to get to the silicon, but that's fine because we need the iron anyways. So this is like perfect. By the time we drill through this to get to the silicon, we will have collected a fair amount of iron. And I just hope that I don't destroy this ship driving through this tunnel. Because we've already lost one thruster. If we start to lose 2 or 3 thrusters, that can make a really big difference. Because the number of drills on the front end of this ship actually truly affect its handling in a really big way. So losing a lot of thrust. Oh, there's the silicon. Okay, our drills are absolutely up against the silicon. You can tell what some of these different resources are just by looking at their textures. It can be a little hard to tell at first, but I know that like what's there in front of me is silicon. Like this over here is iron, and this over here is stone. Like I can tell the difference. Some people can't really tell the difference. I don't know why. It seems pretty obvious to me. But anyways, we are actually getting our silicon now. The silicon will enable us to build bulletproof glass and oh, there's other things too. I just can't really seem to put my finger on what they are right at this moment. But it's, yeah, it's useful and we will burn through this really quickly. I always burn through a lot of silicon. Also, there are some resources that are a real pain in the butt. Platinum and nickel are seriously the worst. They're really easy to mine, like there's nothing different about the mining process. But when you go to refine them, they will seriously hog your refineries for days. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It takes an incredibly long time to mine, or not to mine, but to refine platinum and nickel. So when we start having to build stuff that takes a lot of those resources, that's when I start to get really annoyed. All right, let's carve out a little bit larger here because I feel like or maybe I can just twist. I don't know. I'm trying to find a good way of getting in there without blowing up thrusters on the side of my ship because those thrusters there are actually kind of precariously placed. They don't really have a whole lot of protection. Well, they have no protection. Most of these thrusters are pretty well protected. Those are not. Look at that. There's like this tunnel that I'm in, but I'm actually like, oh, okay, now I see. Now I understand. I wasn't really quite sure if there was a whole tunnel there or not, but there is. Okay. It probably goes through the entire asteroid. Some of these asteroids are really, really cool. We'll have to go exploring and check them all out because each one of them, you know, is completely unique and sometimes they feature some pretty bizarre or shall I say interesting landmarks or, you know, just like natural formations of them. It can be kind of cool. And if you've never seen them before, it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, oh yeah, awesome. All Right? I think that's probably enough silicon for now. There seems to be a good amount of it in here. I don't think I need all of it right now. I think we're actually okay. Let's check our inventory. Because if I get too much of it, it's just going to sit in the refineries for days trying to process all of it. So, and if it's anything like iron, if it has like its own priority level, then that's going to be a problem too. Oh, we just bumped into something trying to get out of here. Gotta be really careful. I should probably run the drills as I back up because we're gonna need to come back in here eventually anyways. And it'd be nice if we didn't get stuck next time, because I'm stuck right now. There seems to be some issue here. Oh, you know what it is? I went in. Ah, we're bumping into stuff. Yeah, okay, there we go. I went in sideways like that. So let's just... Okay, I'm being overly cautious, but I just don't want to lose any of these components. I didn't build this ship, so I don't really know how it goes together. Okay, I lied. Okay, I did build a ship, but for the sake of our story, I did not build this ship. Anyways, let's gather what else is around here? We got cobalt. I don't want to get nickel or platinum yet because like I said, that'll just create huge problems. There's some gold. I can go grab some gold. We'll need gold if we're going to be producing any sort of computers at all. Is this tunnel going to be large enough for me? It looks like it's going to be big enough. Okay, let's grab a little bit of gold. I'm not going to spend like, you know, 5 minutes mining gold, but I will spend, a minute here grabbing some. Because yeah, this ship is, it's definitely set up to work with a much larger mining facility. So it's kind of overpowered for what we can really do right now. I mean, it was certainly awesome of Intrepid to give it to us because we will need it in the future. But for now, it's overkill because we can't refine all of it. This thing can carry like so much and it can get it so quickly that we can't use it all that fast. So what else should I get? Should I get some... What else is over here? Is there any magnesium over here? Magnesium is something that I have actually run out of in the past. So that can be a little bit precarious. Let's see, is there any... There's more uranium. I think we're okay on uranium for now. There's magnesium. Is it in a... I don't want to go in a hole. It's in a hole, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want to go in there. It's too small. Okay, let's return with what we have and see what we can get out of it, because we actually have quite a bit of stuff. And the world auto-saves on me. I might end up having to disable that feature. Because the last thing we want to have happen is be in a position where we can't load a file. I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes autosave can be really, really bad. Like, if you crash, if I were to, like, completely blow up this entire platform with an elevator, and then it auto-saved right after I did that, that would probably be pretty disappointing. So we'll just have to either make sure that doesn't... hope that this doesn't happen, or prevent it from happening altogether. I don't know. Maybe we keep it as a level of like suspense, or maybe we just say, nah, forget that. Let's not use it. Okay. Yeah, I need to pull up closer. I was not really thinking about what we actually need to do. We need to be unloading this thing. So we'll just pull up right next to where we actually are going to offload. So then it's super easy. And we'll hide empty ones. And there's some gold and there's some silicon. some stone, some iron, some silicon. That's all I can carry for now. We'll go ahead and drop this in. Now, the first thing I want to do is kind of set up like a really ghetto collection rig. Something super, super, like, I mean, I don't know if ghetto is the right word, but just makeshift, something quick, just built out of here just to right there because I don't want to have to do this by hand all the time. It kind of takes away from the episodes in a little bit of a way. I feel like, I feel like I wouldn't want to watch somebody just select everything in their inventory and transfer it to another inventory. But I know that there are some of you who are probably like, yeah, this is, this is cool. This is the game. This is what you have to do. There's no reason you should, avoid showing people what the actual game is. And I actually do agree with that viewpoint as well. So I'm kind of torn on it. And I think we still have quite a bit. Yeah, we're getting it though. We're getting it. Luckily, we're actually able to carry quite a bit of stuff in our inventory. Sometimes it feels like too much, and then other times you're just like, I really wish I could carry more. Certain things just weigh far too much, I think. Like, metal grids weigh a ton. Large steel tubes weigh a ton. And when I say a ton, it's just that they weigh so much more than anything else that it feels a little weird. And okay, this refinery is already half full. So you can imagine if we had spent, another 5 minutes of mining resources, we would come back and we wouldn't even be able to put it all in the refinery. Because we would just have too much. Too much. What? Okay, so it's actually doing the cobalt. See, I have no idea how it decides which resource. That's so weird. It was never like that before. That's something they've just done, and I'm really, really kind of upset about it because it doesn't make a lot of sense. We're gonna have to set up multiple refineries. There's no question about it. It's gonna take forever like this. But hopefully these resources that we've gathered will actually, like, go a long way. It's not gonna be that, like, this is practically nothing. Like, this is actually a lot. But in the grand scheme of things, like, if we wanted to build a capital ship right now, like a massive ship that was, oh, I don't know, 10 times larger than this station, no, this would not be enough resources. Not even close. So I do plan to eventually get to the point where, yeah, we are building a massive capital ship, but our production capabilities will be expanded exponentially by that point, and it won't be such a tedious process of having to constantly unload things like this. Okay, so with that said, and with things producing, I'm going to order some stuff into production. Because the first thing I want to do is I want to build another refinery. It's like the number one thing I want to do right now. And I think I want to build it probably where that nuclear reactor is. So that means I want to move the nuclear reactor. And I can agree with that because eventually I want the nuclear reactor to be in this building. So that means we're going to end up having to unpower this station for a minute while I tear apart the reactor and move it. So let's go ahead and grab the uranium. Now the station's going to be unpowered, there's no gravity, the refinery won't be working, but I don't want to lose the uranium, because when I grind this away, it'll just go flying off, and that's not fun. Okay, now we need to, it's just gonna be placed temporarily, because I don't really know where I want to have it permanently. But we'll just throw it down in here for now, so at least we can get the station running again. And then what we'll do is put our uranium back in it. Probably going to need to put more in it. Let me see how much power. We have 2 hours. Okay, we will need more in there eventually. Let's order up some parts because we want to build another refinery. And if we're going to build one, I should probably check to see what it requires. Or should we build an arc furnace? Now this is a new thing. I've never used it before. But I've been told that it's specifically good at refining iron. And oh my gosh, it is so much cheaper. I am going to build an arc furnace. It's a lot cheaper, and it'll help us get the iron out really, really quickly. What's going on with it? Okay, hold on. I'm going into third person mode so I can actually see the thing. And I don't have any steel plates. And now I have tons of steel plates. Okay, now where do I want to build it? That's a really good question. Is there a thing on the bottom? And by thing, I mean... No, there's not. The reason I say that is because I would like to put it underneath here. I'd like to grind out those things and place it. But then I wouldn't really be able to access it. Which is kind of unfortunate. However, I could flip it like this. Turn it around. Or I suppose that's fine too. Build a conveyor system on the bottom of it. You can tell I'm like actually deep in thought about how I want to proceed with this. Or that's a great idea. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grind this out of the way. And I'm also going to remove the floor here. And then I'm going to place it in the hole. If I can get it to flip up right. There we go. And then place it just like that. And now I can access the door on it. And it's not like taking up any space. And I'm going to need large steel tubes, motors, and computers. So let's order up some large steel tubes. Some motors, which we need nickel for. That sucks, because I don't have any nickel. And computers. And unfortunately, our refinery has not gotten around to working on the silicone yet. Silicon, sorry, not silicone. Oh boy. Don't want to say silicone. That would be wrong. Because that's not what it is. It's silicon. Alright, let's... Yeah, we need to go get some nickel. And we need to go do that quickly. Because we cannot build anything else. Yeah, that's going to be a thing we have to go do. And unfortunately, we have no cargo containers here. The only cargo containers we really have are on that ship. Yeah, okay. Well, I think I'm going to leave the episode here. In the next episode, when we come back, we'll go get some nickel and probably some platinum too. We're going to have to get these refineries and arc furnaces or whatever it's called up and running so that we can actually speed up our production. So we can actually like finish projects and make things, you know, start having fun with it. So that'll be what we do. All right, guys, if you liked the video, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button. Really, really helps. And subscribe to the channel. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video.